Good afternoon again from Yami B TV. Wishing you all well, of course, and hoping your day is going the best it possibly can. Now, before I get picked up by all the boys, I had to come up and address this issue, probably for the final time. But I will speak honestly and openly, and it is about Ray Hill. Now, someone sent me a video this morning. Ray is talking that all the millions of views that he used to get have gone down to a couple of thousand, relating that because me and his sister Diane had put up a recording about a conversation that they had. I'm not going to go too much into what was that and this bit to do with your sister in this video, Ray. But remember the party a couple of days before I did my final video on you that's still up there, right, Ray? It was that behaviour at that party that did it, Ray. You can't say you've been falling out, having a pop at me for years, and you've apologised 14 times. Me and you have even had a couple of phone conversations, and I'm going to remind you of them, Ray, right? You can't say because we're having tit for tat war where I'm having to go back at you for saying things about me, Ray, that it all boils down to, oh, it's Yami, why everything's gone wrong for me, right? We won't speak about your ex no more. You're not allowed to, nor am I, all right? Now, look, Ray, look, remember the conversation. You was at a big party, not the party the other day. You was at a big party with all the boys and everyone was there that day, yeah? I spoke to Frenchie. I spoke to Kevin. They said, yeah, come on, let him, Ray, have a talk with you and all that. And then you come on the phone and I went, listen, Ray, how many times, because you remember the time before when you spoke to allegedly Tony one time or another and somebody else and whatnot. You said, yeah, me, come on, mate, come on, well, West London, me and you, and all that, right? Let's sit down and have a podcast together and that. And everybody in West London was thinking it would be a good idea, Ray, for me to sit down with you. I mean, it's quite possible that I still might, because the powers that be are still fighting for me and you to have some kind of friendship. For me, that, you know, some are saying that I'm taking advantage of your thinking skills and the way that you prose things and your memory and things. But let me tell you something, Ray. And I know one thing you got right. That phone calls that day, you said to me, and you swear, Ray, you be honest about this. You said, yeah, I'm being honest. It was that Christian that said, he went like that, Ray, to you. He goes, it was Christian getting you to have a go at me and all that. Ray, is that true? Come on, Ray. You know that you said that to me, right? So we buried the hatchet then. Only to find out by everyone that's around you, and I'm not calling no names, Ray, but that Leroy, right, the one that's always advising you to do this and do that and do that, it is common knowledge that he was arrested for flashing on the common, Ray. It can't be disputed, but he's always leading you up the wrong path. And look, viewers, I've always said, didn't I? Look back on the videos where I spoke up for Ray. And I said to you, like, he's thinking and, you know, he suffers a little bit with dyslexia and autism and he's not good at explaining things and sometimes, but we was more concerned of the bad mouthing of people, Ray. That you may have made mistakes sometimes and you said sorry so many times, but then you repeated these things, Ray, right? So it wasn't to do with that, Ray, at all. Whatever it is, I ask the viewers, I ask people out there now, right, as a plea for mercy from me, you lot, to make him, you know what I mean? Look at the difficulties that he has with that, with his kind of speaking and memories and things like that. And you lot, I want you lot to understand what I'm saying here to you today. From the beginning of time in childhood all the way through, that Leroy, I believe, has been a bad influence on him. I know people do things for their own reasons and for what they might like or not like. But this guy, Ray, you can't be telling me the people you should have been listening to was Terry, your sister, having more contacts with your kids and trying a little bit harder. I don't want to get involved in that side of things. I got a little bit of stick for getting involved, but I was only a shoulder to cry on for the ladies and everybody else. And remember, I've got ties there, Ray. It wasn't just because of you. I was already in contact with them all right? We've both said some things that we shouldn't have done. But I'm putting it all down to that Leroy on this one. And you did, Ray. You did tell me about that, Christian. And you in fact, it would seem that you was right on that. But no, viewers, you do what you do. I'm soft-hearted on a few things. But no, Ray, it's not because of me, mate. But these are the kind of difficulties that you have and that kind of stuff. But those people you should have been listening to were Kevin and Terry. And at the party, people didn't like the treatment of Terry, remember? It's to do with me. Come on, Ray. Be honest about this, Ray, all right, son? But I am listening to talk in the background, and we'll see what comes back, all right? But I wish you a good day.